You're listening to Sips of Sanity, your toolkit for emotional and intuitive intelligence, or what we like to call the dirty work. Let's do it.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Hello, patrons. So if you're watching us on video, you can see that the couch is full.
Super full. We got one dog recovering from yet another surgery and one in here as emotional support.
For all three of us.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Our first word for today is undermining. And we did a whole month of undermining.
We did 2 fucking months of undermining, Karen. It's all we've been talking about all year. Patrons are like, for fucking Christ's sake, move on. We know this one.
And if you don't know this one, it's not our fault.
It's a form of verbal abuse.
Remember we talked about it actually really being that she could have written the book and called it undermining?
Yeah, because all of the forms of verbal abuse undermine you. Next.
Really?
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to wrap it up for anybody that's brand new this month.
They're like, they're fucking bitter. Well, Kelly is.
Why did I sign
Karen
up for this
seems
series? I like the dogs. I don't listen to it for the women. I like the dogs on the couch.
Okay. What do you want to do with undermining?
Oh, well, I just want to say basically that I give it a short explanation and say that undermining is lessening your ability to be the fullest potential of who you are. Mm-hmm. And that somebody sees that as a threat to them.
Your fullest potential.
Yes. Or any part of your potential, perhaps.
Yeah.
And so what they're going to do is try and whittle that away, often when it's undermining, either covertly or overtly, so outright or insidiously. And what they're hoping for is that your self-esteem will just plummet so that they can control you in some way that they believe suits their own purpose, with no empathy for you. And we just want them to be aware of that. And then I will move right along to the next word. Okay, our next word, or pardon me, Kelly, the next phrase is legitimate needs. Mm-hmm. Your legitimate needs are anything that you determine. This is really about you determining what your own personal needs are. And when they are legitimate, you are not making them up to gain control over another person. They come with integrity. They come with you going deeply within yourself to understand this is a legitimate need. And it's also not supposed to be something that you have to quantify to another person by trying to explain to them, to their satisfaction, what your own legitimate need is.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say too, for those of you who have not known your own needs or who have been in any kind of relationship that's important to you where someone has undermined what you've asked for, you may really be grappling with the idea of, well, is this a desire of mine and I need to just kind of like let that go? Or is it a legitimate need? Right? Because if you're used to having your needs pushed aside, not prioritized, made fun of, rejected essentially, you may not know how to discern a legitimate need from a desire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these take time to identify, but you have outlined what they actually are. I'm just kind of cautioning people that the debate you might have in your head in identifying whether or not it's a legitimate need.
Yeah, and often if you're trying to reason it out, you often will take another person who typically crosses your boundaries and get in your head trying to perceive what their arguments are going to be. And then you try to get in to start defending what that is to that imaginary person. That's a really clear indication of somebody who consistently crosses your boundaries and where you struggle with identifying your legitimate needs because that's become a pattern.
Yeah. So the words that we've done so far have been objective. This is a difficult one to really talk about succinctly because it is subjective.
Okay, good. Thanks, Kelly. The next term we're going to use, and the final one for today, our third, is going to be crap fitting. And crap fitting, for anybody that hasn't heard this before, is when we lower our standards, lower our boundaries in order to accommodate another person's shit, another person's behaviors that are not at our standard, and we lower ours to match them.
Every one, Enneagram 1 is like, yeah, that's just a regular Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah. If we literally think that no one is working as hard as we are or caring enough as we are constantly crap fitting. Because the key word you said, or the operative phrase, was lower than our standard.
Right.
So I think it would be a whole lot better to describe this as not lowering your standards in general, not accommodating people in general, but when you are accommodating or lowering your standards for unhealthy or unproductive behaviors.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I lower my standards every time I go into the mall to understand that people are not going to provide customer service like they used to.
Yeah.
It's just not how people are socially adept this day and age, right? And it's like, okay, maybe is that crap fitting? I'm not really sure. Like, is it based on how close you are to this person, or is it an adaptive behavior to just be able to move on with your day? Right? Like, there's a lot of lowering of standards.
I would say that they're all crap fitting. In my understanding of crap fitting, all of that fits. And that now we're just talking that there's a spectrum or
Of standard.
of standards.
Yeah. And the ones wrote them.
Oh my God. This is good. This is a good conversation. I love that.
But I hope that people will focus on,
Yeah.
are you accommodating other people's unhealthy behavior?
Yes.
Compromising your own integrity, compromising your own health and safety to accommodate others.
Yeah. And what I love about vocabulary is that you're doing it. It's a behavior. But if you don't know the term for it, you could just be doing it and la-di-da, on you go with life. You keep doing it. What I like is that maybe you learn what it's called and you're able to catch yourself and go, I'm crap fitting this. I don't need to do this. And when we have the vocabulary, we're able to identify it. We're able to pause. We're able to correct. We might even bring some humor to it and go, oh my God, I'm crap fitting this shit again. And be able to communicate it to others as well and say, I think I'm crap fitting this right now.
Yeah, and I think it's not to say that you have to fix everything. It's not to say that you have to stop crap fitting something for good. You can make a conscientious decision that in order to maintain this relationship, this is something I'm willing to crap fit.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's more or less a boundary, right?
Yeah.
Where you're deciding, I will continue to, or, I recognized I was doing it, and that's not something I want to continue doing. It's just, again, to help you identify the behaviors.
And hopefully, if you're identifying the behaviors, hopefully, that you're able to see some choice. Okay, that's it for today's show. We have 3 more for tomorrow.
I can't believe you didn't put crap fitting on Wednesday.